Hey y'all, hey.
Hey y'all, hey.
Up in here.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Which okay. Wait,
What's
that's your song, JR?
up with you? What's up? What's up? What's up with you? I haven't heard that in a minute. Oh, they preparing. That shit that you just sent me that Paula Patton did, she needs to stop. That shit looked horrible, and she was making wings, sis. So you know I'm real critical.
That boy love his chicken.
Yes, God. I love it. Give me wings all day.
Mm-mm-mm. But how y'all doing?
Yeah, what's
Folk,
going on? What's up with y'all?
you can't hear us. Timothy, can you hear us? Chastity, can you hear us? Who's playing? Are you playing?
My phone. Don't. Yeah. You
Oh,
see,
okay.
I'm going through it in this house right now.
Y'all pray for my brother.
It's a lot going on, y'all. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's a lot going on. And I apologize.
I apologize.
You better. You better. You better.
Honest and true. Because I know I was wrong. Hey, Mike Jones. Hey, Neil.
Hey, Neil.
How you doing, Neil?
You better. You better
That's how
do
she
that.
said too. Believe me, because you know that thing is not gonna enunciate.
Ooh.
But she's one of my people that's an exception, where they don't have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's my exception. Her, D'Angelo, a couple other people.
Oh yeah,
They
D'Angelo
don't
is
have to
not.
enunciate.
No, not at all.
They can sing like they chewing on marbles. It don't matter.
Her and Tony.
But somehow, sometimes Tony do enunciate. It depends on like how she's singing. It goes back and forth. That's why I think that's the huge difference between her and Anita, because sometimes she does. It depends on the song and yeah.
Breathe.
She'll, yeah. See, Tony, she enunciates, but she holds stuff out. It's it's like a mashup.
I guess.
You never not know you always know what she's saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
that's true.
Nancy, you don't always know, and you
That's
damn
true.
sure don't know with D'Angelo. So,
Oh hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hey, what
but
up, Joseph? What up?
yeah, but we'll get started with the band conversation in a minute. Right now, we just talking shit.
Yes.
We're just gonna give people a time to get in here.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there. Yeah.
I'm so excited. We've been gone for like 2 weeks off the live.
3.
3 weeks?
Because last week it would have been 2, but then I was like, bruh, I don't know what was happening with me last week.
Because the week before we was tired. because we bust out a lot. A lot. We bust out a lot. We was like, yeah, maybe we should chill on the live this week.
Yeah. And it's gonna be more of a teaching episode.
I think so.
I mean, it still be discussion and foolishness,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
We're gonna be learning about these bands.
Yes.
And y'all can all chime in too.
Which I'm so excited to talk about this. I love this topic so much.
And we're gonna talk about like the known ones a little bit, but we're gonna more talk about the bands that don't get their flowers.
Right.
Or that people just don't really know much about.
Right.
You know. So
hang on, can I talk about how today is the 25th? I was listening to it today. Yes. I was listening to it. Let me tell you something. What's that child name? The lead? I forgot her name. Shit.
I can't.
Athena Cage.
Oh, Athena Cage. Duh. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing was running. She will vocal run from here all the way to New York, back to Chicago, all the way to Maryland, and then to Harlem. That girl knows she was a runner. What?
Beware the Ides of March.
Beware.
Gotta do it like Johnny. Better beware. Everybody.
I'm gonna give you that now. You know I'm gonna give you that.
Better beware. Everybody.
She's a track. Timidin, beautiful gowns. I'm not fooling with you tonight.
Yeah, but that thing do run.
Oh my God. I forgot what song it was. And it was like, yo, I counted for like 15 seconds on a run that she did. I was like, and she was still going. I was like, oh yeah, girl. I was like, Keith was just letting you go, huh? He wasn't doing that to them boys on Silk. He was like, cut.
I mean, but your boy, not John, but
Lil G.
He gonna run you to death too. But I like it. I mean, I expect it for them because they're a dramatic group. They just like, if another group did that and that's not what they usually did, I'd be like, but that's what they do. They have dramatic ass songs and they sing them dramatically, and they have a dramatic way they dance. Like, but if anyway, I expect that from them.
Right.
So it's fun.
Oh, that Wanye, yes.
Oh, that thing. He be all in the flow.
Oh.
Crying, kicking around in a circle. He be on bended knees. He be running to the end of the road.
Yo said running to the end of the road. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Don't answer what Timothy
Neil said.
He being shady. Running.
He said, more running the road, runner. Meep, meep.
Ooh, we starting already. I can't find you. Here go Irvina. Here she go.
Tell her to bring her tail up in here.
I'm about to send her the link. She can't find it.
Oh, I thought she was calling you just to.
Oh, no. I sent her the link.
Yes, be patient with moms. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. Like, you got to be with me.
I'm about to say, because she got to deal with you. Have you met you?
A lot of nerve.
Have you met you?
On Amazon, y'all. I'm not paying him any mind, so I don't know what he's writing.
See, I've never. Have you ever tried Tidal, JR? Have you
Huh?
ever been on there?
Nah, I've never tried Tidal.
Oh, I never tried. I might do a trial just to see how it is.
I remember asking Eric, and he was doing it, and he said that the quality is better. Like the quality of the music, it is a little better on Tidal.
Yeah, because one thing I will say about Spotify, when I play it at the bar, the volume isn't equalized.
Yeah.
So it'll have one song real loud and then it'll go to the next song and it's real low.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that. So.
Yeah. There was like Tidal is the one that you can use, and the quality is better though.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe I'll try it for a trial.
Yeah, let's try it out and see how it goes.
Okay,
let's do it
yeah,
at
we
the
can
same
do
time
that.
and just see how we feel about it.
Yeah, and see how it goes. We can do that. We can do that.
All right. Well, we'll hop into the conversation. I just want to give Oh, you have to use the EQ on your Samsung.
Oh, okay. I do Tidal if I can't get a certain song.
But see the thing at work, it's on the Sonos. It's through Sonos. And so it's not like it's on my phone. And I mean, even though I can do it through my phone, but
right.
I'm a fiddle with it tomorrow. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give Tidal a try and see how it is. And
okay, yeah, I probably will too.
And I ain't never opened it up a day in my life. If he talking cash shit and don't know shit, I'm being like the people I don't like that be talking about music and they ain't heard it. That's me. Nah. And for that, I apologize. All right. So.
Oh man.
All right. So we're gonna hop into our conversation.
Yes.
And JR, how about you tell why we wanted, and we actually kind of talked about this topic before. In fact, I used the same flyer like about a year ago.
Yeah.
But that's before we kind of changed format of just kind of all talking, and it was more
music.
This is back when we would play music on Instagram back in the day,
right?
And so we wanted to revisit it and really like get into it. So, so if JR can just explain why we wanted to revisit this topic.
Okay, so we're gonna be talking about bands tonight, as y'all can see from the title. And me and Elise was like, when you talk about bands, it seems like everybody talks about, the bands like the Earth, Wind and Fires and the, those type of bands. And people don't give, the underrated bands their respect. And it was like, what we also think is too, that bands are needed, especially now. You know what I mean? And I always say this, I always feel like bands and groups are kind of the foundation of what R&B is and how it was so mainstream and how it was basically dominating at one time. You know what I mean? It was really dominating. And now that we don't have any groups, we don't have any bands, it's all about solo artists. You know what I mean? And it just, to me, I feel like if we had more of that, then I feel like, maybe R&B could take a higher step than what it is. You know what I mean? Because obviously we need the powers that be to really kind of help this. You know what I mean? But I feel like if we had more bands and more groups, we could do that. So me and Sis said we kind of wanted to talk about, underrated bands, and maybe, we are obviously going to talk about the bands that are huge and everybody know, but we want to give credit to some of these bands that a lot of people don't know about. So we're going to get into, y'all can get in the comments and let us know what y'all favorite bands are. And, we can have a conversation like that. So I'm excited for this. I really am. I'm really excited.
Yes. So we're going to start we're going to start from the beginning.
Okay.
And, and JR is our expert old shit nigga. So
that train wasn't late. I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for that one.
I love because it feels and that's one thing I love. Sidebar, one thing I love about our partnership is our specialty of what we know about the most is in a different place, so we're able to fill in the gaps.
Right.
That early history, I'm just not as versed in it as you. You know, I know quite a bit, but nothing compared to what you know. Just like when it comes to them 90s.
Oh, nah.
It's different because I was a teenager in the 90s.
You were there.
So I was there. No, but like, so it
works.
We inform each other, and you're better about the new. Now, early 2000s, I got you, but
I know that
the new stuff, especially since you do current R&B bangers, like you're really up on it in a way that I'm not. I be late boots. I get to it, but I be late boots. Well, I talk about something. You be like, I talked about that last year on R&B bang. I was like, I know. I just got around to.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead, JR. I keep.
Okay, so what I feel like from the original bands was like the swing era, right? And this is during the time where it was like Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington and Cab Calloway and these guys that had bands. You know what I mean? So when you would see them in a lot of their albums, it would be Duke Ellington and band, or it would be Louis Armstrong and his band, or it would be like Louis Jordan and his band. You know what I mean? So it was always, the bands were always put in the front because that was always the focus. The music was always the focus. And a lot of times it would be like, you know, Louis Armstrong, he played, you know what I'm saying? He played instrument. You know what I mean? You had a lot of these Louis Jordan playing instruments and things like that. So it was like the bands were always the focus to me, especially when it got to the jazz and, you know, the swing, and you coming from the 20s and the 30s, and then you get to the 40s where R&B is starting to become what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the late, great Jerry Rexler that coined the term R&B in 1939. And once that happened, it was like, okay, we can kind of make a band a mainstream. You know what I mean? So again, the bands were the focus. But then we kind of when it got to the 50s, it started focusing on the solo artists like we are now, but the bands were still there. You know what I mean? It was like,
and it had to be because there was no computers. No. There was no pre-recorded tracks. So the band was not, they had to be there. You know, I mean, I guess unless you threw old raggedy vinyl on the Victrola, but like,
right.
So yeah.
So when it got to like the 50, you had Little Richard, right? And you had him, and you had Chuck Berry, and you had Ray Charles, and you had, you know, B.B. King, and then James Brown started to come in when they were the flame.
We missed you, Neil, last time.
Hey, Ma. So it was, you know, so once James Brown and the Famous Flames came in, because at first it was just the Famous Flames. Everybody, if you saw the movie and all that kind of stuff, but everything changed once the powers that be wanted to focus on James Brown, right? So it became James Brown and the Famous Flames.
Yeah. Which made sense because James Brown was this one of a kind person, you know, one of one personality. Yes. Like, right. Of course, you want to focus on him because that's what's selling and allowing the band to get more gigs as well. You know, so it was, yeah, go ahead.
And they were thinking of a business back then. They were thinking of, okay, we can get money for James, and then we can also get money for the band. So it's more money for us. But of course, you got people in the Famous Flames that feeling some type of way because it's like, we are all this and you're the focus. Like, I get you're the lead, but you ain't playing all these damn instruments, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing all of this. So it's like, this is a little, not fair. But again, this is when mainstream trying to focus on one artist and also being black. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we know when you listen to these Ray Charles songs and when you're listening to these Chuck Berry songs, they're not playing all the instruments. You know what I mean? Like, we know Ray Charles is playing on the piano. But at the end of the day, when you get his album still, it'll say Ray Charles and the orchestra. This is when everything changed. Now they want to make it pretty and call it the orchestra. Like, y'all, let's stop. You know what I'm saying? But then after that started, then you got into the band of the 60s. And this is, to me, when bands started to really be a focus in mainstream, because when you had groups like the Funk Brothers with Motown. Now, even though Barry kept them locked in the studio because he didn't want them to be the focus, he was kind of doing what mainstream was doing. Barry wanted to be mainstream. Let's just call it what it is, right? So when it came to the Funk Brothers, it was like these brothers would play, and they didn't like the R&B that they were playing, though, but they were killing it. But they would rather go back on the block in Detroit and go in there and play that jazz because it was real music. This is when jazz and R&B started changing, which was the help of the bands. You know what I'm saying? It happened because of that, because it was no more of being, playing this, kind of doing whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? It's now 2 times. You know what I'm saying? Everything is 2 times this and 2 times that. And that's why, for me, I actually shout out to Joseph, Booker T, and the MGs, because I felt like them as a band. I felt like Jim Stewart, who was the owner of Stack Records, I felt like he was like, yo, let's put them out there. You know what I mean? Y'all playing all this great music on our stuff. Let's put y'all out there. And that's why we got Green Onions. You know what I mean? And I think once mainstream realized you can make money, the powers that be was like, we can make money off of just a band, nobody singing. Okay, let's get more of these. You know what I mean? And by this time, we all know James Brown is creating the funk. You know what I mean? He's creating that funk during this time. But somebody slides on in whose birthday is today, and that is Mr. Sly and the Family Stone. And once they came in, they changed everything for bands, because now they started going mainstream with songs like Everybody's a Star and, Dance to the Music and all this. These are real bands playing. You know what I mean? So then everything changed. Now we got in the 70s, we got hella bands, like so many of them. You know what I mean? Like that one. I'm glad you put that one up, sis, because that's the one that a lot of people don't talk about. Huh?
Which one?
Is that BT Express? Yes. I'm glad you put up that one. I'm so glad that you put up that one, because a lot of people don't talk about them as a band. It seemed like in the 70s, again, everybody's talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire. Everybody's talking about Parliament Funkadelic. Everybody is talking about Kool and the Gang, which is fine. But
sidebar, which is fine, because those are, for one, phenomenal musicians who made phenomenal bodies of work, who have stood the test of time, where you still listen to it today and it still sounds magical and beautiful. Mm-hmm. But it's just a lot of people that get left out of the conversation that should be in it, that are just as good, if not better, than some of those groups that we love. Right. And they get left out. Yeah.
And then
and what kind of trips me out with some of them, it wasn't like they were like no hit groups. These were groups with hits who toured extensively here and overseas and worked with your faves. And so that's why it bugs me out that a lot of them don't get attention, because they were making relevant music that people loved.
Right.
Yes.
But do you? But I agree with that because I also feel like when it's part of the disco era too, it helped bands more. You know what I'm saying? Because it gave them for people to groove. You know what I mean? Like you were able to groove with these bands. You know what I'm saying? Technology hasn't changed yet. You know what I'm saying? So we wasn't there yet. But in the 70s, come on, when you had a group like Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, right? Doing Love is a Message in 73, and all of them are playing on that, and they are like the it band of that Philly soul. It's like, yo, and these freaking bands are like tearing up the clubs. That's why we ended up getting Casey and the Sunshine Band. That's why we ended up getting, Chic. Shout out to, Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards. Like we got them. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we can dance. You know what I mean? And people don't mind hearing these bands playing. Or I know if I was in the 70s and I heard a horn playing in me, I'd be like, you better.
You still do.
You better. You know what I'm saying? I do that now, right? But yeah, I just like it seems like when it comes to the 70s, a lot of people straight go to like the Earth, Wind, and Fire to me. But I always feel like even the Osley Brothers don't get the due that they
get
as a band. That part.
They get their due, but not as a band.
Right. They get their due for having hits in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. That's what it is. Y'all not understanding that Ernie and them dudes is playing these instruments that we love. And see, when they was with Motown, Barry said, I don't think so. The Funk Brothers gonna play. Y'all just gonna sing. Y'all just gonna sing. So they was like, yo, we out. We about to create our own stuff. You know what I mean? And they created the T-Neck, and I think it was their label. I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But they created T-Neck, and then they started. You saw the change. Like you saw like it was mainly about the music, because the damn show wasn't about what the hell they was wearing, because it was a little. Whew.
Everybody was wearing that at that time. Go look at your parents. Look at your parents or grandparents, depending on your age, and look at them pictures. That was the style.
I just like, you know what I mean? Like it's just
pictures of my mama, and she looked like them. She looked like how everybody else looked in the 70s. She had a big afro. She wore the little crop top stuff and the bell bottom jeans. It's pictures, yeah. Like she was killing the game, killing it. that thing was fly. But anyway.
But I think going back to Sly don't get his respect either, like he should. Sly and the Family Stone, and I'm glad that Questlove did his thing on the Summer of Soul. I'm so glad that he showed that impact that Sly had, because a lot of we all know the powers that be always want to see what's new and what they can get after it. You know what I'm saying? What they can try and make after it. So once Sly came in and started getting these #1 hits and all this kind of stuff, it was like, we want more of those. But it doesn't seem like everybody talks about Sly. You know what I mean? Because he deserves to get a lot of credit. This is the last of the 60s. You know what I mean? This is like 68 when he came with Dance to the Music. And it's like, why don't we talk about him? He was a genius, to be honest. He was a genius. And I mean, hello. James Brown James Brown did have the famous faves to do all that. But then after that, after Sly came in and created this kind of new thing for mainstream, I feel that James Brown kind of was like, all right, you know what I mean? I got to do something to, connect to the young. You know what I'm saying? Because that ragtime and all that is kind of out. You know what I mean? So then James wasn't paying his people, so they dipped on him. So that's when he ended up getting Bootsy Collins and all this kind of stuff and putting them all together. And it was kind of like, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? You got Fred, you got Clyde that did Funky Drummer. It's like, this is why I love vinyl so much, because I could see who were playing these instruments. Where was the bands? Because at the end of the day, if it's all about music, you know what I'm saying? I don't like it's just like, oh yeah, you just push a button and this comes the sound that you want, like a guitar comes out. I want to see who's playing this guitar, who's playing this trumpet, who's playing this. You know what I mean? And it's just like for me, I'm just like, that they again, I feel like the Ozzy brothers should get more love because nobody really talks about the Ozzy brothers like that.
Yeah, so I want to briefly talk about what I put up on the screen that Neil commented.
Yeah.
And this is so true. I'm so glad he said, I'm so glad Questlove let the music tell the story in Summer Soul instead of him being a liner note professor.
Amen.
Because sometimes, I mean, me and you can sit here and talk till we blue in the face, but if the people don't actually go and listen to the music and feel it and see how it makes them feel, even if you go and listen to the music and you don't like it, you experienced it.
That part.
You don't have to like it. You really don't, but you should at least see what you listen to now, where it comes from.
Right.
It's just like knowing the history of anything, whether it's music, whether it's the arts, whether it's whatever your profession is. Like, just you can apply it to anything. Like, at least know the origin story and just let it soak in.
Right.
You ain't have to sit there and listen to 10 albums in a day. Just throw an old song in your normal playlist. Just throw 1 or 2 songs in there just to see and kind of compare the similarities of today and then what's totally different. Like, that's, I don't know. But I guess my idea of fun is different. But that's fun and interesting to me.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree. Because I know Craig Seymour, speaking of that, he just put up a picture of Donna Washington. And it was the picture of her, and she was, somebody delivered some chocolates to her, but it had like metal or silver in it or whatever. And, he was like, the girl was giving, he was like, Donna Washington was giving face. He was like, she was giving face, but this wasn't supposed to be a funny picture. But I said, you see what our legends had to go through to make it a little easier for what y'all doing now? And you don't want to really celebrate them. That's why I don't like when these artists come out and be like, it was me that created this. And it's like, no, there's nothing new under the sun. You didn't do this. You know what I mean? So, like, I agree. Like, put an old song in your playlist. Hey, you might not like it, but there's so much new, older stuff out there that you can listen to and be like, oh, yo, I rock with this. You know what I mean? To see if your favorite artist, that's why I love when they do interviews and they ask, who were you influenced by? Because that should make you want to go back and be like, yo, okay, this is who my favorite artist like. Cool. You know what I mean? Because what really pissed me off about that was when they asked Ella Mai to say 3 Aretha Franklin songs and she couldn't do it. That was complete disrespect. Like, come on. You know what I mean? And it was just, so I agree.
There's one thing I'll give, like, them 80s and 90s artists, when they would be in them interviews and they asked them about influences, they had an answer ready. Like, they'd be like, oh, Marvin Gaye, so-and-so, and so-and-so, like that.
And then a lot of them artists would do covers on their albums. You know what I mean? A lot of our 90s artists did a lot of covers. So you kind of knew who they liked.
Some of them was good and some of them was ungood.
Hey, grandma, hey, girl.
But the point is they attempted to pay homage, whether it turned out good or whether it turned out to be a masterpiece. They still were giving reverence.
Right.
To them, like, I know this song, or somebody in my camp knew that we needed to know about this.
Right. Exactly.
So even if it wasn't the artists themselves, at least the people behind them had a knowledge.
Right. I agree.
And they at least was trained of what to go in the interview and have that answer ready.
Oh, that's why artist development is needed. Jesus.
Shit.
Uh
You
no.
won't gonna have shit. Even if I was elevated before I went, I like they might ask me who my influence. Let me at least know 2 or 3 songs by the person before I say that as my answer. And she ain't the only one I've seen. Other ones do it.
But I just don't understand how Aretha though. Aretha, I wasn't even mad if she just said respect. Okay, cool. That's all you know. Get it. Cool. You couldn't name 3. She was like, the hell wrong with you? Ain't no ums. Aretha though. They didn't ask you. I don't know. They didn't ask you to name
Or
3.
she shouldn't have answered that. Did she know? She could have said that her influence was Mary. I'm sure she know 3 Mary songs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true. That's true.
Like, she could have said literally anyone that sang anything before her.
Absolutely.
She could have said anything. She could have said some off the wall shit. Long as it's the truth.
It was the truth. I agree.
So she was lying. She was trying to get attention. She wasn't expecting that follow-up question.
Right. That's true.
She should have just said who actually was whoever it was. It could have been one of the newer girls. That'd have been fine. It'd have been the fucking truth.
That's true. But that is the truth. Yes. So who is this that put this up? The one that put up the Miles Davis one. A lot of people don't give Miles Davis a lot of credit either, because he was doing this before everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, he created the lane for everybody. You know what I mean? So he doesn't get a lot either, because, you know, a lot of people just don't know Miles Davis, but Davis was but he was a freaking genius when it came to his style of playing and all that. And a lot of our people came out of that, because who came out of a Miles Davis band? Our great, the James Ntume. You know what I mean? He came out of that and went to his own band, and all that teaching that he got from him, you know what I'm saying? And he created monster records and all this kind of stuff. So I think, yes, I'm sorry, we can take it back to, you know, Miles Davis. But a thing that really, when we got to the 80s, this is when everything changed for bands anyway. You know what I mean? Like, this is when it changed for bands, because technology changed.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
Well, oh yeah, Kello with the Jello. It wasn't until I was older till I got into it too.
Me too.
I didn't understand it then, and now, but once I got really into music, I was able to, like I said, to go back and in doses. Yes. At first, I tried to do everything, and I was just like, I don't understand this. Ugh.
Right.
A little something here, maybe a month. I kind of go through an album or whatever, and then I was like, I get it now.
Right.
But I didn't immediately like listen to it like, ooh, this genius. No, it took time, and I was like, oh, I see what's happening. I see the influence. I see what he influenced. You know, I saw what he influenced, and then I understood more.
And that's what I loved about hip hop, as far as the jazz, like the jazz infusion that they used to do. You know what I'm saying? As far as Tribe and all that, because when he said Ron Carter on the bass, I'm like, who the heck is Ron Carter? Like, who is this dude? You know what I mean? Like, who is this? And it was just like, you go back, but see, that's the ear that we have. You know what I'm saying? We want to go back and listen to who is Q-Tip talking about this dude, Ron Carter, that was down with Miles? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's us. You know what I mean? And then it just sprinkles on down. And I just get a little upset when it's like, I get why you, sis, really like the internet. And I think I'll let you talk about that a little more, because it took me a minute, because Sin has been trying to get me into the internet for so long. And I'm like, you know what I mean? But you kind of brought me to why you like them. So you can talk about them a little bit.
Oh yeah. So I was actually very, very late boots to them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I for a while I didn't know what they did. I didn't know what kind of music they made. I just was like, that's a silly ass name. And I discounted them off the names. All these kids, I don't know what they're doing. So I didn't
Right.
pay the attention.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was listening to, I guess it was like Spotify or whatever, and it had like the daily mix that they make you. And an internet song in there ended up being there. And I was like, this is cute. Good cute. I was like, okay. I was kind of, and usually a song just from first listen don't get me like that. And I was just like, I like this a lot. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was like, who is this girl?
Mm-hmm.
Who are these girls? No, but
I was out there. I was like, is she gonna do it?
who are these girls?
Who
And
are
I was like, what a sweet voice. I was like, but I hear instruments.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't know this was what this group was. I was like, but maybe just this one song sounds like that. So that made me go to the albums.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, no, this is what they do. They're a whole fucking band. And they're young. And I can hear them from how they play. I can hear that they are influenced, by a lot of these 70s bands. Like I can hear it, but it's different. It's like a more subdued, kind of sweeter vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But they is playing their ass off, and this sounds good and it's creative, and they're bringing some of the current sounds into it, but it's still all instruments. I was like, oh. And so I started digging deeper, and I bought some of the vinyl and stuff like that. And I was like, I like these kids. I was like, they are proof that you can do this type of music and be popular and make these good records. And I think if older people were introduced, somebody played it for them, that
Mm-hmm.
they would, that they would like it. I feel it's a generation, like it feels like a gap. Like it's
And
giving you a lot of that old, but it sounds new.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what you need. You need that balance. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get the young. You got to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The music is whatever's young. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn to accept that. You know what I mean? Because it's like at a time in the 90s, of course, we was like, oh God, this is great. Da, 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 da. And then we started getting to this new stuff, and it was like we're becoming our parents. You know what I mean? Like, our grandparents. Because my mama didn't mind the new stuff. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, our generation's different because
Right.
the 90s, with the 90s music,
Mm-hmm.
it was my generation's music, but my mom liked it too.
Right. Right.
And it won't want some, I'm trying to be hip. No, that's what she listened. That was on the radio. That's what she listened to. That's what she liked. She knows the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So no, that was a unique time period to where parents and kids were listening to the same thing.
Yep. I agree.
But the kids were also listening to their parents' older music.
But
and
like,
a lot of that is about the accessibility of music, because at a certain point, the only music you could listen to is what was on the radio, what your parents were playing in the car, and if your parents had records, tape, CDs.
right.
That was what you had access to. You ain't had no damn money to get your own, or you had to have approval to get what you were getting.
Right.
Because you was a kid.
Right. Because
so that's different.
Yeah, and then it was one radio in the house. One. There was one radio in the house. You were in your room playing on listening to your iPod, listening on your headphones. It was one radio in the house. So whatever your mama and daddy was playing, you had to listen to it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. But going back to the band, since I got a question to ask you. So, like I said, the 70s is my favorite era of music.
Same.
Favorite. Because I felt like Black music dominated the 70s. We had the groups, we had the bands, we had the solo artists, we had everything, right? And then disco comes in which that didn't break us at all. We were still doing it. But then the 80s comes in, right? What did you feel literally kind of took the feet under bands going into the 80s? What did you think happened?
I mean, I think part of it, what was the first video they played on MTV? Video Killed the Radio Star.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it was the visual things became about the visuals. And so you would get these groups that were bands, but they only wanted to focus on, I mean, think about it like when we talked about Tony, how they weren't how they're a band and they never were marketed as a band. And on the videos, you only see the three.
Right.
Which is why everybody in the beginning thought that their names were Tony because they only showed the three.
Right.
The whole ass band.
Right.
And so I think marketing had a lot to do with that.
I agree. You know what I was gonna say, and I'm gonna take it to race for a second. I feel like in the 70s, Black music dominated. And even in disco, we dominated that too. And I felt like white America, mainstream America, took that from us because we were running it so much. Because what became the new 80s in the early 80s? What was the new thing? New wave, right? Mm-hmm. And new wave was just like what we were doing in the 70s, right? It was the same way. But I felt like after that, it was like, we don't care about bands no more. We don't want to focus on Black bands. We want to focus on the white. So now it's a new wave. You know how they do neo soul, new soul. You know what I mean? I felt, to me, it was like, all right, y'all dominating too much. Y'all taking all of our charts away from us. Like, we ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? So this whole disco thing, we're going to create this whole thing in the baseball fields and do all of this and do all this mess and say, oh, disco sucks. But honestly, our bands were still rocking doing that. So that's me. I feel like it became a race thing to me. How do y'all feel? I might be wrong.
It might be part of it. But what a lot of people are saying in the comments, I totally agree with, is the money. Bands are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the truth. Just like being in a group, that's expensive because for the members, because you got to split that 4 ways, the little bit that you do make.
Right. Okay.
So it's a band, it's 10 ways. And then I like what Joseph said, drugs were a part of it.
Yeah.
A lot of our favorite bands ended up strung out.
That's true.
So even if it wasn't no Disco Sucks, they wouldn't have been around much longer to be able to perform because they were those bands and groups were falling apart.
Yeah, because then a lot of them wanted more money. You know, like I said, a lot of them was on a habit. You know what I mean? And a lot of them was just, I just was like, how was we dominating so much in the 70s as far as bands and things like we had Rufus. You know what I'm saying? Even though when Shaka went solo, she had the average white band playing behind him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I'm like, yo, like I'm just flabbergasted on how, and that's why I always stand, like, I'm not a stand of nothing, but I stand for the 70s era because everything was so perfect. It was social, it was political, but we were still doing us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were still, and them bands was kicking out. Like, I talk shit about the groups because I feel like, oh my God, all them. But our bands was kicking ass. We had freaking Ohio players, Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament Funkadelic. We had George Clinton, Brett's Construction. Who else? LTD. You know what I'm saying? BT Express, Confunction.
Okay, Neltron with the mandrill. Okay.
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 You know what I mean? So it was like that was we were running it, and then it seemed again. I know technology changed, but it's crazy to me. How can technology change, right? And it did, but then you still had to go on tour, so you still needed a band. So what was what was what was wrong with mainstream still focusing on that? And that's why I feel it became more of a race thing to me. You know what I mean? And then it was hard for a lot of our bands and stuff to cross over again. You know what I mean? Because before then, we were getting, come on, you had freaking Earth, Wind, and Fire getting triple platinum every damn album. Then we get to the 80s, they can't go damn gold. So I'm like, that man, that's why for me, I just think it's more race to me, and I just wanted to see where you were coming from with this.
I mean, race a factor in everything, even when you think it ain't. So no, I'm not discounting that, but it was just so many different factors. That's what I'm saying. Like it was money. It was, I mean, styles changed.
Right.
What people wanted to hear changed. You know, as the masses, that is. Yeah. So people, like, it's a young person's game. So what appeals to the youth, that's what's going to be on top. That doesn't mean other people ain't going to succeed, but whatever's young is always going to be at the top. Like that's just human. That's just humans humaning, right? Especially in America. You know what I'm saying? It's all about youth culture, right?
Yeah.
So that's just is what it is. Styles going to change. Music's going to change. But the thing about the Black music in the 80s and 90s, they still carried the torch. You still heard the influence. You still, yes, you had electronic things going, but it was musicians that were in bands making that music.
Exactly.
Jerry Lewis, they were are musicians, and yes, they came to technology, but they came to that technology with the band mindset.
Right.
So,
yeah, I got you. Because then in the 80s, you got groups like Time and Cambio and the Gap Band and Maze and Slave and SOS Band. Yeah, like all these bands. You know what I'm saying? Like they were still rocking, but it wasn't like the same anymore. You know what I mean? It wasn't pushed to that front, because then again, technology changed once again, because we always talk about it in the 80s. We first came in that 80s. A lot of, we was trying to find our sound in the 80s. The only ones in the beginning that got it right was Kashapp and Leon. You know what I mean? They got it right, because coming out of that post-disco era, it was hard for a lot of people, even bands. You know what I mean? But then once we got to like 83, once Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis comes in and they working with the SOS Band, and like you said, they coming in with the mentality of musicians. Yeah, we know the technology, but we're coming in it like, okay, we can press a button, but technically we know how to do that shit on the guitar, or we know how to play it on the thing. This don't change nothing. But then to me, it seems like once New Jack Swing came with Teddy, it was a wrap. It was a wrap for bands. It was a wrap, a complete wrap. So we get to Tony, and labels knew that. So what did they do? They marketed them as a group, not a band. Mm-hmm. And that was the difference. You know what I mean? I mean, yes.
Because like Mike Jones said, like, for example, Midnight Star, even though it was a band, they were marketed as a group.
Yes, they were.
For sure.
Yes, they were. Yep. Ready for the World was too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why Time got a little bit more than a lot of people, because it was like Prince, and you knew Prince was that musician dude. You knew he played all them instruments. So he got his crew with him. You knew that they were musicians. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a whole different thing.
Yes. Like Sky was not, they were marketed as a group.
A group.
That's I go off of Sky. Like,
yes, you do.
I love them. They just have some really great songs. But yeah, like
Yes.
They kept on pushing. They was like, we ain't selling, but we just gonna keep making albums, and they were able to make another hit in the 80s. I was like, yes, y'all better. But yeah.
Yeah, it was just like once that New Jack Swing came in, it was just like, what do we do? You know what I mean? But again, everybody on tour, you gotta have a band. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I love Chucky Booker. He was Janet's MD. You know what I'm saying? He was the one playing the piano, doing her shit. You know what I'm saying? Because this dude, that's why I'm like, yeah, these guys got to go on tour and go, and get bands anyway. So why can't they just be mainstream? I just don't get it. Like, it bothers me because then you got our 90s ones coming in. Again, the Jodeci's and the Boys the Men and all these are groups. But then you got a real band like Mint Condition that comes in that's on the label of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They're pushing them like a band, but the powers that be is making them as a group. I'm like, the fuck, man? Like, I'm sorry. I'll be getting like really. I think about it and get like mad over it, man. Like, it's just.
I think on the Mint Condition or something outside to where they had to fight just to have that one little scene where they were in the white room with standing in front of their instruments, and that was only for like 10 seconds, and they had to fight to get to do that.
What's I say? I think bands became out of style once digital started to replace analog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just
that's definitely what it is. But like, I don't know. It's just,
I just wish that groups like
it just sucked because the people liked the music. So why did you? I don't understand why they had to hide it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Because to go back to race, they didn't do that with white bands.
They sure didn't. No, they did not. All of them was on the cover. If it was 19 of them, they put them on the cover and didn't hide them. But when it came to us,
they didn't do that shit with no fucking Guns N' Roses or Slayer and all them motherfuckers.
No, they did not. No.
But yet on Tony, you only get to see three niggas, and it's more than 3 niggas.
Right. Knowing damn well them 3 niggas ain't playing all the damn instruments. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, Mint Condition. At least all 6 of them, they let all 6 of them be in the videos and shit at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think that was because, again, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They was like, they knew they came from a band. They like, and we signed one. You know what I mean? So we gonna let them get they do. You know what I mean? Because think about it. When you think about Mint Condition, which I feel like is one of my favorite bands, and I don't think they get the love that they deserve at all. I love y'all because y'all can. I'll be so
beautiful tats, lovely tats,
long hair and beard. I love Mint Condition. I just hate when they do these group things and they throw them in a group, and I'll be like, but they're not a group. And I'm like, how do y'all not see that? But again, since you always got to tell me they're not marketed as one. They're not marketed as a group, but as a band, they're marketed as a group. And it just it irks me, man. Like, it just irks me. And then you know what I mean? Like, freaking Devontae had to create Swing Mob because they was jamming on freaking that Unplugged for Uptown Unplugged. Man, that last part when they doing the Uptown finale, they killing it, yo. Like, crazy, man. But yeah, I get really, really upset because those are the groups that, like, Mint Condition and Tony was kind of the last of that 70s bands that we love. They gave us that flavor. And once they was done.
And see, what I love is about a band. If I go to a concert, yeah, I'm going for the single, whatever. But a lot of times I'm going because I know a specific artist has a great band. Like a lot of times, like, or I want to see a specific band because I know that the band is going to give you a crazy live show.
Yeah.
To where even if the singer is off that night, not sounding their greatest or not giving the, they just a bad night or they toward the end of their tour or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the band is going to pick up the slack for them and give you that energy if the artist can't give it to you the whole show.
Right.
Like you need that because it's just like people who are in groups and go solo and they kind of miss being in a group because they had somebody to pick up their slack, or somebody they could turn around and look at like, okay, I got this. I got this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Yes. I agree with that.
I go to a Sade show. Yeah, I'm going for Sade, but I'm just as much going for the band.
I agree.
Well,
I agree. I totally agree with that. I agree. I think that's why I like going to concerts because I want to see how this band gonna play with the artists. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our 90s artists back then, like I was watching MTV Jams and SWV was there and they was doing Right Here Human Nature, right? Now, it wasn't the best vocally because them girls, they were running. Like they were, and it wasn't the best. Maybe the harmonies might be off. But let me tell you something. That band, they was killing it. They were killing it. It didn't make you even think about the girls. Because you knew maybe the girls was having an off day. Like, if y'all go watch that Human Nature on MTV Jam, you could tell the girls are off that night. It was an off night. But that band, they rocking. And I'm like, can we get back to that? Because somebody, Mr. Jay-Z, you're getting into these halftime things. You, the powers that be, try to get these bands and groups back. How about that? To me, anyway. I don't know how y'all feel, man.
And it's like, I don't know. Like, nothing's more disappointing. You see a live performance and they singing on a track. That makes me, that's one thing I'm sad about for the kids today. Like, even if I don't vibe with the music, whatever, I'm not gonna like everything, right? But I feel sorry for them that they just have to go to a show to hear a pre-recorded track. That
sucks. But see,
like, why don't they do that goofy ass music and get a band to play that goofy ass shit? At least it make it interesting and fun and different.
I agree. That's why I like.
Joseph. Yes, a track limits you because you can't deviate.
Nope.
You might could do one extra run and that's it.
That part.
Yes, you are.
That's why I like. Even though I don't like the word neo soul because I'll never feel like soul is ever new. But our neo soul era, them motherfuckers had dope ass bands. You hear me? Like, we know D'Angelo had, come on, that's why a lot of artists love voodoo. Because of the vibes that he was giving us, that 70s vibe. You know what I mean? And then you had Erica that had a dope band. You had Jill that had a dope band. You had all these people. I love y'all.
I hate that I love y'all. I love you.
Right, like exactly. Like Chassie, when he did that the MTV Awards in 2000, he ripped that shit, yo. He let his band shine, dog. Like this is what it is. That's why I love. And then we go into the Soulquarians. That's why they are so great because they understood the musicianship of what they were raised on, and they brought all that in. You know what I'm saying? Dilla and you know what I'm saying, Quest and D'Angelo and you know what I'm saying, all of them. They brought all of that in, and that's why when we listen to those albums, that even Common's album got Dilla all over it, but the Soulquarians is all over it, and it felt like it. It felt like a 70s, going back to the 70s, and Common is spitting over it. That's how it felt. That's why I'm like, yo, bands is so needed, man. Bilal, yeah. Oh, Bilal, that just. Oh my god. Oh my god. But I agree. With what's his name? He said that he felt like we need to let this generation understand that, and it's kind of hard when you got their current artists thinking that, oh yeah, we did this, we created this, and not really talking about the artists that came before them. Is really, really hard. It's really hard. It's kind of upsetting. It makes me a little upset, man, that it's like, God, y'all don't understand a band. Like, come on. Like, y'all don't want to hear somebody playing the guitar. You don't want to hear nobody blowing the horn. Like, really? Ugh.
Like, I could get halfway interested in some of that vibey stuff if it was like a band playing it. Like not even on the record. Like, at one of their shows, if they put, like, just to hear it, just like how with hip hop and Unplugged came and they would play the instruments and like remember LLs
and try
and hearing those machine made or heavy sample thing with a band playing it. It was so interesting to hear it. It added another dimension to it, because now when I think of those LL songs, I also think of him doing them with the band.
Right.
And so in my head, I'm thinking of the differences and where it came together and where my mind was in different places for each version of the song and stuff like that. Like, that's interesting, like, whatever.
I agree. Like, even like, because this generation, Beyonce is that girl, right? But I must say, I love when she did like her B-Day experience, right? And she put her band up front. Like, she was letting them get noticed. You know what I'm saying? BB on guitar. She was talking about the drummer and the girl playing the piano. And it was like, yo, okay, Beyonce's that girl. She's bringing these girls on every tour. Like, come on. You know what I mean? But it seemed like she can't even do it. Younger generation ain't hearing it. But that's why I love, thank you, Neltron. That's one reason why I love To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick. That's why I love that record, because Terrence Martin is all over that shit, playing that damn horn. Robert Glasper is all over it, because that is a band type of album. Kendrick could have went on tour and did that whole damn album, yo, and a band playing. That's why a lot of people like when Nas did Illmatic, and he did the 25th anniversary, and it was like on a PBS episode, and he had strings and all this playing on, you know what I'm saying, on Represent. You got what? And you know how good that sound? And I'm like, we can't get no more of that. That's why I love this new album by Robert Glasper, this Black Radio. This album is the shit. You know what I mean? It's the shit. Like,
it's amazing. You know it's really amazing. I mean, all the Black Radios are amazing, because I still listen to the other ones regularly.
Yeah.
I listen to them all the time. Like, they never went out of rotation.
Yes. No, so he had an orchestra. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we even go back to when Quincy Jones was the conductor of freaking Frank Sinatra's band. Like, this is it. But okay, sis, what is your like favorite bands? Like, what's some of your favorite bands? Like, who do you like?
You already know.
Yes, let's talk about it.
One of them being, I don't know where I put it, The New Birth.
New Birth
is one of my favorite bands. And their music is so funny. Like, I would say between 30 to 50% of their songs are covers.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
But but you don't notice right away because they reinvented them in such an interesting, creative, like, and they kind of go a lot of different places because they can go real psychedelic on you, and then they can go like on some, like they can go on like some old rotary connection, like psychedelic, like what drug were you on that day type music. But then they can go do, just some traditional like 70s band type music. And then they can give you like a dramatic ass ballad situation, but still very musical at the same time. And and then one thing folks know about me is they freak a tempo change in a song, and but it makes sense. You don't see it coming. Even if you heard the song 100 times, you still like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, or a song will
Mm-hmm.
start off and you, for like the first 20 seconds, you like, this song sound like it might be boring. Oh, give it 5 more seconds. It ain't.
That's why I love their version of I Can't Understand It. Thank you, Timogen. I Can Understand It. I love Bobby's, but I can't even listen to Bobby's no more. New Bird got it and owned it. I was like, Bobby version who? I don't need it. I'm good.
Yeah, and you know that oh yeah, and if anybody wanted, I send you the new birth playlist I made. The essentials. But Until It's Time for You to Go, which was a Roberta. Well, it's a cover from a song, old song from the 50s, I believe. Right. But Roberta covered it, and then New Birth covered it, and it sounded like two totally different songs.
Totally.
Same exact lyrics, but it's what they did with it, and they both are great. But what New Birth did to it, that shit's a fucking masterpiece. Yes. And I know everybody don't get high, but you should listen to the New Birth version of that song, like very inebriated. Because then you're going to feel on a whole other level.
Right.
It's going
New Birth.
That's another one of them songs you listen to with your whole body. Like it just reverberates. I'm telling you. Until it's time for you to go.
Yes.
But listen to the New Birth one, then go back and listen to the Roberta Flack version.
Yeah.
Because on the Roberta Flack version, she's not doing no acrobatics. And so you listening to the words. Because the words to that, like, it's a very lyrical. So listen to Roberta's to truly get the lyrics and understand what that song means. Right. And then go listen to the New Birth again and you feel it in a whole different way.
Yes.
So New Birth, Roberta Flack, then listen to the New Birth again.
Yeah.
We really like somebody because we get so excited.
Yes.
Like, so bet, do this, bam, 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 so.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man. Yeah, one of mine, I think we talked about it already, but the JBs.
You didn't talk in detail, though, so go ahead.
I love the JBs. I love them because, first of all, a lot of the stuff that was sampled by hip-hop, a lot of these guys played. Like, we don't talk about John Starks. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about Fred. And he yells them in the Fred, like he yells, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we know Bootsy was a part of them. You know what I'm saying? Like when you listen to songs like Funky Drummer, and Clyde didn't even like the damn song. Like he hates it. But it's the most sampled, like James Brown most sampled sample. You know what I mean? And Clyde was like, I hated that. I hated Funky Drummer. It wasn't even great to me. But it was like, what I like about the JBs to me is when you're listening to these guys, you're always in a jam session. They kind of reminded me of Booker T and the MGs to me. It's like anytime you listen to anything that's produced by them, it's like you're in there. Like I always say, if you guys go back and listen to Otis Blue, right? and this is Otis Redding's Otis Blue. That came out in 1965, and they did that album literally in a week. And if you listen to Booker T and the MG, they is jamming on that joint. It feel like you're in there with them, like everything. Like it's so great to me, and that's what kind of the JBs remind me of. Like when I hear a song like "Doing It to Death," dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? You like you gotta move. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like oh, you know what I mean? Like I just so yeah, JB's and Booker T and the MGs is definitely a top two of mine as far as bands. You know what I mean? What happened? We can. Oh yeah, we mentioned Sly, bro. Yeah, we mentioned them.
That's kind of where we started. I think it was right before you came in, bro.
Yeah, it was right before. Yeah, because we had to mention them because they kind of made it. You know, they made it mainstream. To be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like they ended up making it mainstream. Yeah. Who else is a favorite band of mine? BT Express. BT Express. Express. Do it. Do it. Do it till you're satisfied. Whatever
it is.
And y'all know Kashif was part of BT Express. If you didn't know that. Shout out to Law that we did our Janet episode with. His grandfather was a part of BT Express. So like and it was so disco though. It fits with the disco vibe, but they playing the hell out of them. Like anytime I'm listening to it, I can feel like I'm in my Brooklyn apartment with my family, looking outside at the train, and they going by playing it. Like it just, whew, so dope, so dope. Come function.
Hey, JR, what's that song that you?
Fun. Dun,
That's the name of the band.
Right, and I couldn't think of it at all.
You hummed it to me. I was like, really, bro?
Everything. You know me.
Like you hummed it for like 3 seconds. And I was
did.
like, oh, I was like, fun, confusion. He was like, oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't. I didn't know. I did not know. But another one. Oh, so it's this group that Sin actually put me on to. And their name is Malo. 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 And they're kind of a Latin band. And they came out with this album in 1972. I think Neltron, did he send it to you? Did Sin send it to you? And Santana's brother is in it. And y'all, they are amazing. I really would want y'all to check them out. It's just, if you could put it in, it's Malo. And their 1972 album that they did, y'all, amazing. Amazing. Like the instrumentation of it all, it's just freaking amazing. Oh, you got it on wax, y'all. I recommend it. That's why I was like, sis, can we do something on bands? Because I just like, hey, if I found out something new, I want to introduce it to y'all. So, y'all, I would recommend y'all go check them out. Like, they are really, really dope. Like, they're really dope.
Yeah. Gap Band did, but part of it was addiction, is why.
Yeah. Also. Oh yeah. That was definitely.
And that played a part in so many musician stories. Like, yeah, some of them fell off because styles changed, whatever. That was part of it. But also, they lives were, in turmoil. A lot of life was lifing. So
he is.
Drugs destroy so many musicians.
Yes,
of all races.
All of them.
Not just us. So yeah.
They try to push it like it's more us, but no. Them Aerosmiths and AC/DC and Metallica and all them. Oh yeah, they was getting fucked up too. Like we ain't gonna act like that. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I want to. So y'all go check that out. Check that group out. But
yes, I love the Blackbirds.
Blackbirds. Yes. Yes. But
That's my
yes,
song.
yes. And I just again I want y'all to go listen to that the Otis Blue too. And just vibe out with Booker T and the MG so y'all can vibe out to Isaac Hayes on the piano. You know what I mean?
On the
Like
piano.
on
That's
the
what my grandma used to.
piano.
That's what my grandma said.
On the piano. Yes.
Piano on the high wire. Like what? I don't know these words, Grandma.
Yes, yes. So okay, so yeah, y'all can let us know what some of y'all favorite groups too. I mean, favorite bands. Here I go saying groups.
Oh, I do remember Joe Public.
Absolutely. You got to live and learn. Go, go,
If all
go,
your
go,
bridges burn.
go, go.
Because they was on the bridge play. Which yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes. That's what it's called, Timogen. It is called that.
Oh, but yeah, back to the Blackbird is so amazing.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
If I make a playlist, there will be Blackbirds on it.
Right.
I'm forgetting something. What's oh, I can't think of it. What's the group that got the song of the sunshine? Sunshine, we'll be walking in the sunshine.
Oh my God. Elise. I know. Shit. Central Line. That's it. Central Line. I had to think. That's it. Central Line.
We'll be walking in the sunshine.
Okay, so mid condition.
Ooh, y'all, sorry.
Oh, the new power generation. Absolutely. The Soul Aquarians. Okay. Michael set the bar so high in the 80s that every group and artist was trying to copy what he did. And I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
That's an interesting take. Yeah.
I agree with that. And you know, Calvin Mike that came in here with us, there's a video that he did. And he talked about why it was so hard for our artists to cross over because again, in the 70s, we were running it, and it came to the 80s. We were not getting the promotion that we were getting in the 70s, and everything changed. Everything changed. I gotta find this. I can put it in the chat so y'all can go to it and watch it. It's so good because it's like it really talks about why Black music really kind of took a dip until Michael came in and was like, I gotta bust these doors down again. You know what I mean? Like I gotta do it because he was already pissed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I gotta find it for y'all, and I want y'all to check that out. But what do y'all say?
So as far as Blackbirds, I would start with their first album with their first album is self-titled. It's just called Blackbirds.
Blackbird, yeah.
I would just start there and go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would start there.
Lakeside. Come on.
Yes, Lakeside. Yes.
Come on, yo. Fantastic voyage. Slide. No.
Wow.
War. Wow. Huh. Yeah. What it is he goes for. Commodores. Yes. The Commodores. Actually, when I actually liked Lionel Richie when he was in the group.
But yeah.
Which one you put up? Oh, Lakeside?
Oh, that Lakeside.
Oh, okay.
You know, we got Slave.
Slave. Yep. I only think of you on 2 occasions.
Oh yeah, Heat Wave.
Oh, Heat Wave. Y'all, go listen to Too Hot to Handle album. Amazing. And having it on vinyl sounds so good. New Jack Swing wasn't a sound for everyone though. When Gap Dan did, that's when
it's a lot of legacy artists that tried their hand at New Jack,
mm-mm.
and it was a very small number that were able to not sound corny on it. And I do mean less than what I could count on my hand, probably 2 fingers. Yeah. It was hard. Yeah, that was a hard transition.
It was hard. It was really hard.
But you know what? Every decade of music is every decade it is a huge shift.
Yep.
And it's hard for the artists before then to try to fit in with it. And usually the artists that kind of make it are ones that keep what they sound and keep pushing it, and they're able to fucking tour forever, and they become like legendary, even if they don't have no current hits.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, you might could throw a couple songs or try to like put a little bit in your sound, but when you just try to go all the way in on what the new sound is, it's gonna sound corny and forced.
Right.
Well, that's just what it is.
Right. Right. Well,
Just
we
like
know that.
Just like when our 90s artists, they're big into artists and they try to do like a trap sound, it usually don't work. Because it sounds forced, it sounds corny, it sounds like it sounds performative. I mean, they are performers, but performative in a bad way.
Right. It's always hard. Oh yeah, the Gap Band was great. Oh, absolutely.
And you gotta do, like we always say, when you go on to your next thing, you still gotta do something that is what people know you for, because if not, the fans are confused. You're gonna lose your old fans.
Yeah.
So I mean, it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
That was yes. Miles kept his ear to the streets. You got to. Like Norman Whitfield did the same thing with Motown. He kept his ear to the streets. He knew what was going on. That's why you saw the Temptation sound became a little bigger. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more instrumentation added.
But you got to ease into that. You can't just
boom. You know what I'm saying? He slowly, because he was always working with them. So he was able to slowly ease different sounds into those. You know what I mean? Oh, Johnny Wiley. Yes. Come on.
That's right. Evolution, it isn't easy. And I'm not sitting here saying this stuff like, well, they should have did this. First off, I'm a music lover, but I ain't no fucking musician. So I have a limited scope of what I know. And that's what it always will be, because that's just not what I do. I'm on the other side.
Right.
So I'm not saying any of that is easy or that there aren't a million other factors, but I'm telling you what I observed, and when it worked for people is when they eased into a new sound, but when they try to jump right into it, that shit hardly ever works. It's very few occasions where that works.
Well, we know why.
I'll tell you one group though that made a good transition from the 70s to the 80s.
Who?
Motherfucking Cameo.
Absolutely.
Masterclass right there on being relevant in decades.
Absolutely. I mean, we can go back.
Even though they had a new sound, it still was very instrumental though. It still was very instrument heavy. It just was with a lot of electronic in it, but you still getting all the other stuff, and it's still composed in a way that you would if you were just a band playing analog just instruments.
Right. Like I mean, we could Isley Brothers. They was the ones that they were able to transition, because the 70s was beautiful for them, but then the 80s was beautiful for them, and the 90s was beautiful for them. And the 2000s were beautiful for them. So they were able to, you know, Marvin's albums in the 80s weren't as great as the ones in the 60s and the 70s. Well, the 60s wasn't that great either. I mean, if you want to be honest, I mean, Marvin didn't have any great albums in the 60s, like, because we know how Motown got down. It may be 2 albums that I like, but I ain't gonna say it's a great body of work. But The Moves of Marvin Gaye was a good 60s album from him. And the album MPG, which came out in 67 or something, 68. Yeah, but other than that, no, them 60s albums, bruh. And then the 80s, he only had one. Well, if you want to say In My Lifetime, but they rushed that shit. That was rushed. So, Marvin was pissed, but he only had one album in the 80s. And honestly, to me, Midnight Love is alright to me. Like, it gave me flavors of the 60s Marvin that I love. See, I do love him in the 70s too now, don't get me wrong. But I love that Funk Brothers type of, and it gave me that. You know what I mean? But again, everybody was trying to find they sound in the 80s. So, I mean, Marvin was, everybody was being fucked up. Because if you listen to me and Elise always saying, listen to them 1980 to about 84 albums, you're going to be like, ooh. Now, wait a minute now.
Now, for it to be an early 80s album, it was okay. But I personally don't really care for that album. It's not horrible, but it doesn't like move me in any kind of way. But it's not bad. If somebody played it, I'm not angry about it. But
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it just don't.
It didn't curl.
It don't move the meter for me.
Right.
Not in the bad direction or the good direction.
Right. It didn't curl quite right for you, but you would deal with it.
Because it's his voice. Like his voice is always that his voice moves me, but the songs don't really move me themselves. But I mean, he sounded good. He sounded great. But yeah.
Right.
Marvin ain't never sounded bad.
Yeah, Marvin never sounded bad.
In his whole career, he never sounded bad.
No.
Nope.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Let's see.
In My Lifetime wasn't my favorite. Yeah, it wasn't. What about Stevie in the 80s? Neltron being shady. He being shady. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He being
shady.
Tried it.
Yeah, he tried it.
He been real good. He been real good lately. So I knew.
Yeah, he was. I knew it was
lately. We've been too nice to him. That's what it is. It's
that it is. That's why I'm gonna cuss him out. Go in on him because he's starting. He's starting. They tried bands in the 90s, but it didn't work like y'all said. I was a new wave. Almost every group was technically a band. Right. Like even Immature was a band, but they made them a group. Yup. I'm about to see. Finally, I'm gonna see my girls live in June.
So I'm trying to what? Was there any other 90s bands like outside of the
Mid Condition and Tony's?
But
that's all that I knew.
I feel like it's something else that I'm forgetting.
I mean, Mike Jones said the new Power Band. I mean, Power Generation.
Yeah. We got Brand New Heavies, even though it's technically acid jazz, but that's that music sound R&B to me, no matter what they want to call it.
Right. Yeah.
They can call it whatever they want. But, but them voices don't sound like nothing else.
No.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't. Y'all remember a lot of bands?
I can't. But I just feel like it's somebody that I'm. Like it's one that I'm.
There's one that we're missing, right? Besides Mid Condition and Tony's. But see, they target them as a group, didn't they? Low key.
Who?
Low key. Didn't they push them as a group though?
Yeah, they did. But they were as a group. They were a band though.
They were a band. But they again pushed them as a group.
Now this is late 80s, but and even though it's technically called rock, but we invented it's black. I do want to shout out Living Color.
Oh yeah. Yup.
We invented rock anyway, so
hello.
And they did that.
Yeah,
I revisit this stuff a lot. It's so good because it's that hard rock, but it's so rhythmic. It's not like the other rock that the whites was doing. It still had a soul to it, even though it still had
Right.
a soul and it still had a
Mm-hmm.
groove to it.
Yeah. 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 It had. Yep. I love how you said it. Sis. Say it again. We invented rock any damn way. So
So I always like to
black music
mention
is
that because
music.
it had a soul to it. That's why but I like a lot of rock music because I love guitars so much.
Yeah.
So any medium that you can give me a guitar, even some weird ass country ass bluegrass shit, I'll listen to it just because it's
I
guitars
love
and
it.
banjos and
Oh
shit.
my God.
Like
I know my
I,
mom love that.
I like all of that stuff. So if if I go to a bar that ain't for, I can still go in there and I can enjoy the music.
You did
Like
that
it's not
again?
getting on my nerves. It's like, oh, okay, I get it.
Did you
I
do that
love to hear
again?
guitars when it ain't when it's instead of
You had to cry all night. That in the line. That was a moment. That was a moment. That was a fucking moment. That was a moment. Oh my God. Oh man, live in color, girl. You gonna have me listening to that at work tomorrow.
she said group theory, even though the band was a male playing all the damn instruments. She was her own band. She was a band by herself. She did. When I read the liner notes, she played
Yeah,
like
you're right.
he's like on some Stevie shit.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
It was like keyboard, Rhodes, this, hand class, everything. She was all up and through.
Oh my God. I was just who was I think I was talking to Sin and I told him that Soundgarden. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on now, Tron. Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains. What? Oh God, yes. Uh
But yeah, I forgot. But back to low key. Yeah, they sure were a band.
they were a band. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They were. But again, people only know them for being a group. They threw them in that group thing again.
I have a 12-inch of low key. One of them random dollar things I found. I have like what's the name of the damn song?
I got a thing for you.
I got a thing for you. I randomly
Mm-hmm.
had that.
Yeah.
Right now, I got a thing for you, baby.
Y'all do it again. Wait, do it again.
Now. I got a thing for you, baby.
Oh God. Oh man.
That's a fun song.
It is. It is. Okay. Well, oh yeah, they were
Who?
the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
You must have heard it from my best friend. She's always talking when she should be listening. Can't keep a secret to save her life.
Absolutely, they were a band. What?
I found out. I got it. Man.
You better not.
What?
I thought you was about to play it.
You thought about to play it?
I thought you was about to play Crush on You.
No.
Oh, you about to show us your vinyl?
Yep.
We know.
Shut your whore mouth.
Oh God, how much did you pay for it?
$1.
You and them damn dollar bins.
$1 US.
People don't be knowing what the hell they got.
Yeah, this the one with Crush on You and
Uh-huh.
yeah. And You Got It All. You
yeah.
got it all over here.
You got it all.
And on the back, they showed like each of them on their instrument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yo. Yes, yo. She shows off every episode. She has no choice. The vinyls are right behind her.
They're right here.
Right. That's why Jimmy loved them.
Was Solo a band?
Um,
I can't remember. Let me look it up.
because I'll say this, because obviously this is another Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I don't think so. I don't think they would literally, and I don't think they tried to even market them as a band. I think they was just a group.
No, I'm reading. I don't think they were a band.
Yeah, I think they were just a group. Scott, the Silvers, yes, God. Leon, oh, that man deserves so much more, man. Oh my God, Leon.
Oh, wait a minute. Might be wrong.
Where you want me to put it?
See, it's maybe they, or did the one dude just play the cello?
I think just one.
Okay, I think that's what it was, and so it made it seem. Yeah, so I don't think the other guys played the instrument. They just sang.
They
It was
just
just the
sang,
guy.
yeah.
It was just the one guy on the strings.
Mm-hmm.
But good question though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got him right here on right.
Sit right here.
Oh yeah, the Silvers.
Absolutely.
Jackson 5. Somebody said Jackson 5 earlier, and I meant to say that. But thank
Yeah.
you,
Oh
Chelsea.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Leon deserves bouquets of flowers.
Bouquets of flowers. Oh. So, and it was easy for him to transition too. A little bit.
Who?
Leon. Easy for him to kind of trans with production, because I mean, just look on Blackstreet's first album.
Now, Tron, I'm gonna send you a link to my Discogs. You can see exactly what I have and what I want.
I know she told me I need to make one. I should have been did it.
You don't never listen to me when I tell you to do shit the first day.
Oh my God! See, no, we're not. What? That's bull. I do listen to you on some stuff.
I said the first time.
I do listen to you sometimes.
How many things I got to tell you 2 and 3 times?
A
and
couple.
You go, oh shit, yeah, 2 and 3. A couple of two.
A couple. Not all, but a couple.
Like 2, 3, 4, 12.
Live.
And then I tell you the second time, you be like, oh yeah, you did say
Don't
to do
believe her, y'all.
They know you too. Half these people, like 3, 4 these people in here is your friends. They know what's up.
Lies. Who? None of them do that. None.
They're trying to say sibling rivalry. Yeah. No, because y'all be trying to conveniently forget information. Like he eventually own up to it, but he not gonna own up right now. But then maybe when we about to sign out, he be like, I mean, but I just saying. We've met. Y'all get on my fucking nerves, y'all. He really do. But I love him dearly. He's one of my favorite people in the whole world.
She's my favorite people in the world. But God, I know how to get on her. That's why sometimes y'all see it through the show.
Oh, I'll send you the new birth playlist.
Oh, Barry,
Can you
yes.
put links? Can you put
Oh,
links from this comment section? Because I can put it in the
yeah, I think so. I think you can.
Okay.
I think you
Okay.
can.
I'm
The
find it in the
White Orchestra. Oh my God, I remember when my mom played the White Gold album.
Oh,
Oh my
the
God, it was like he was a genius. He was the maestro.
yeah,
Honestly, he really was. Jesus.
yeah,
Oh,
very.
Parliament Funkadelic. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I got that up
Absolutely.
there.
Yes. Yes. The acid and all that they brought to the party. They brought everything to the motherfucking party. Everything. When you listen to that album, you got to be drinking something or hitting something to feel that right vibe on that shit. Because to get masterpieces like the Mothership Connection, how the hell
Yes,
they?
Love Unlimited Orchestra. Yeah.
Yes, Love Unlimited. Yes, God. Yes, Isaac Hayes and absolutely Barry White is definitely top tier. Isaac, his production is just great. Like just walk on by. Like just listen to that joint for like the 12-minute version. Ugh.
Like if he never made another song before or after that, that was
It
fine. Just had
was
that
enough
one.
for me. I was good. I was good. I was good on it. I was absolutely good on it.
When we get off of here, I'm listening to this New Birth playlist.
Yes.
And it starts off
Law
with one of
played
my
with
favorite
them too
videos
with
in my
George
mind.
Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Law plays with George Clinton. That's like his uncle. He for real. Like, listen, woo.
Took up the whole side of the vinyl.
Yes,
Oh goodness.
yes.
Are there any current 2000s bands
Like
that we might not
2000 man,
know about that I
yeah,
should check out that I've missed?
that I've missed.
Cause
Yeah,
I be craving that shit.
me too.
Cause I want to hear bands with a modern twist. You know, that's why I like listening to the Foreign Exchange music because it's
Mm-hmm.
the influence of the music I love, but it's modern. So
Yes.
I'm always interested in hearing new. Yeah, we already talked about the internet
Yeah,
though.
we got the internet. Yeah.
I'm a I'm a damn near stan. If I
Yeah.
was a stan, I'm the closest to without being a stan.
One with
Oh,
Lay.
what Snarky Puppy? Yeah, Snarky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
already fucks with them, but that's a good one to mention
Yeah.
so other people can
Oh, Moonchild. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Moonchild. Yeah, somebody did mention
Yeah,
Moonchild.
mentioned that
That's my
earlier.
shit. I
Yes.
love Moonchild.
Yeah, I
Oh
do
my
too.
god.
I do too.
Oh snap, Joseph, you're right. We didn't talk. And I got the vinyl and everything. We didn't talk about Ohio Players.
Oh wow.
How did we do
Damn, how the
that?
hell we missed
We sure
them?
didn't.
I thought, damn. Ohio
Hiatus,
players.
hiatus, Coyote. Yep. Oh, I fucks with them hard. I went to when they first came out. I won tickets to their show from Soul Bounce.
Sin put me onto them. They
They
are
were in
dope.
Raleigh, and I went to see them. This was like, I mean, it was the year they first came out. You know, as far as the U.S. knowing about them. And I went to that show, and it was so amazing.
Oh my God. Neltron, what is the band that me, you, and Sin was going crazy about? And they brought an album out, and it was only online for like 96 days or something like that. Oh my God. And we went crazy about it. Me, you, and Sin. And it's a group that they came out and the album is like 7 and what's the name? Adele just worked with one of the dudes out of the group. Oh my God. Soul. What you mean?
You see all this shit just fall.
Yeah, what you mean?
I ain't you. Huh.
Oh my God, yo. Oh, what is that band? And what's the name? Just worked with them too. Adele just worked with the guy that's a part of the group. Salt. That's it. Y'all check out Salt, please.
Hey Joseph, what are some of your favorite Ohio Players songs? Since you brought it up and we forgot to go into it, we'll let you we'll listen to what you got to say first.
That's it. Salt. Yes. Oh my God. They're dope, y'all. Please go listen to them.
Oh yeah, but Neltron, yeah. But when I saw them, that's before I didn't know who they were at all. I hadn't even before I went to the show, I listened to one song real quick because I only entered the contest because they were in Raleigh, and I was like, oh, if I win, I can go to this show. And if it's on Soul Bounce, they ain't be trying to get no tickets away to nothing whack. And so I was able to listen to like pull up one song on YouTube before I went. And I was like, oh, I might like them, and saw that Q-Tip had did the little rap on Nakamura. And so I was like, oh, okay, I see the vibe. And then I went to the show and I really enjoyed it. And so I've been following them ever since.
It's SAULT.
Heaven must be like this.
Oh, well, Skin Tight is my favorite from them.
Skin Tight.
That bass, nasty.
Woo! Give me that nasty bass.
Ooh, that nasty bass. That bass is sick, man.
Oh, yes, honey. Yes. Honey.
8 album covers are fucking legendary, yo.
Legendary, the best.
Legendary.
You got full circle art. You got the music art. You got the actual art. Yeah. The visual art, I should say.
Yes. Yes.
Heaven must
very
be
provocative.
Like this. It must be like this. But you know the song Fire though, as much as I like it, I don't ever have to hear it again.
Me neither.
And that's because got a hold to it.
Yes.
I love when artists can cross over, but I hate it at the same damn time.
Me too.
I love what it does to them, for their families, for their legacy. But child, when the Blanquitos get a hold of something,
oh child,
they have made some Stevie Wonder songs unlistenable to me because
that's all they cover when they doing tributes, and that's it. You be like, please.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Yeah. When the mother pearls get hold to a song, you better just start liking a different song because you're gonna start hating your favorite song.
Or when the unseasoned get it, when there ain't no salt and pepper on it.
Yes. They're gonna boil your chicken to death. Like it started off as a perfectly great chicken breast. You like perfect. It's a good chicken. Nah, I'm gonna put it back in the water for an hour.
Right. Then I'm gonna put it in the microwave. that yes.
They don't put it in the microwave.
Then put it in the microwave. You be like, all that seasoning and got off of it in the water, and then you put it in the microwave and go give it back to me. But they do that anyway. Wait.
Yep, they did it to Hey Ya, they did it to Superstitious, they did it Respect.
Freaking Higher Ground. No.
They damn sure did that to Cool the Gang. But see, Cool the Gang was trying to get that crossover on purpose.
They were trying, yeah.
And I mean, get your bag, but
I hate
just know when they get hold of it, they're gonna sanitize the shit out of it.
You better believe it.
Ugh. Oh yeah, Miss Jackson. Yep. I cannot listen to that song anymore. And I love that song.
Ever.
I got that album. I think only the first the first day it came out.
Soul Replacement by Pebbles. Okay. Pebbles by Pebbles. Okay.
Shackles remake. Shackles by who?
Who? Oh, yes. Timothy sent me that bull crap. No, Elise. No.
Y'all, if y'all ever become Timothy's friend, I want y'all to know that he's a troll.
He is.
And he gonna send you
Beautiful gowns.
He gonna send you bullshit all day and then act surprised when you like, nigga.
Yes.
Troll.
Yes. A big one. He's a big one. I'm glad that you noticing. Glad that you in that we in a group with him. It'd be so. Well, you know they good with that because I mean, what did that girl that's shaped like a board that's big as hell? What her name? And she redid freaking Earth, Wind, and Fire. What's the child name?
I don't know her.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, what y'all know who I'm talking about. She's shaped like a board and boring.
Mike Jones, which is by Organized Noise? The song you told us about, or something else in the chat? Yeah. But let's see. But yeah, I think we
this was fun. I like talking about like really the history of stuff. So this is
Timothy, I don't know her. Yeah, Mike Jones, what song were you talking about Organized Noise? I missed the before that.
She ain't even got beautiful gowns.
Oh, okay, the Pebble song. Okay, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay, thank you.
Got it.
But yeah, JR, what we got coming up?
Oh my God. The episode we have out now, I think all y'all have probably seen it, is with Fatima and
Lydia,
yes. Sorry. And we did Use Your Heart, SWV, and we did Love Changes by Melissa Morgan and Kashif. Dope episode. It was so fun to talk about. Somebody finally picked Use Your Heart, so it was so fun. The next episode is coming up is from our girl Chastity from Midnight
R&B Edition.
Yes. And we will be talking about Usher's Confessions.
Yes. And the anniversary of that is coming. When is the anniversary?
The anniversary is next Thursday. So this Sunday is going to be Confessions. And it's a dope episode. Oh my God. All ages will really enjoy it. How we brought it all together. It was dope. It was such a dope episode.
Yep. And this one is really dope because it got my old ass, and then it got JR not so old ass, and then it has Chastity, who is younger. And so It's a good conversation because you got a perspective of this time period from people at different stages. So when it was out, I was a whole grown as fuck, real grown. Right. And then JR, you were like
18. I was 18,
like in high school, college.
Yeah, time. I was a senior in high school.
And Chastity was in middle school.
Right.
So you're getting a different view on this album that all three of us love, which goes back of showing this was a time where different generations liked some of the same a lot of the same music.
Yes.
And so
thank you, sis.
Spending this 10, 12 year age gap from the youngest to the oldest, we all love this album, and we all loved it for different reasons. So it's really dope in that way. And I'm so that's why I want to have Chastity back to do that again, to maybe do an older album and get how she feels about it of not being
Yes, because it was so good, and we brought our parents into it, our grandparents. It was, oh my God, I cannot wait for y'all to see this episode. So we got that coming up. Of course, we got to catch that minis coming up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. The next catch that mini is going to be Joseph and what's his name? Kamani.
Yes.
Yes.
Joseph, you
Kamani and
coming up
Joseph.
soon, baby boy.
Yes, you up soon. Oh, and baby. Joseph brought it, y'all. Oh, he brought it. And he brought all of it. You hear me? Yo, that was such a fun episode to do. Like, for real. So some of y'all people need to come back.
And some of y'all need to come for the first time. Just hit us up.
Some of y'all need to come back for the first time. Yeah, and then we in the talks of some radio things, so we keep y'all up to date with that. Definitely share to everybody that you know, R&B reps and the things that we doing. Everybody is so supportive. Y'all are dope. Love y'all, man. Y'all don't know. Some days I need this, and it's so great that I could just come on here and bug out with y'all and be crazy, and y'all love it. So I'm just excited for this. Yes, I'm so excited for R&B reps. I love it, man.
Yeah, and if you feel it on your heart, hit us up on Cash App, even if it's $1. Just show your appreciation.
Yes.
You know, because we do have a couple little bills like the Zooms to do the interviews and this platform to broadcast to y'all on YouTube in good quality.
In good quality.
And
we ain't on that Instagram no more.
Yeah, we're just trying to. It is just R&B reps, like it is on everything else. Yes. And if you got it, if you ain't got it, don't worry about it.
It ain't we ain't begging. Nah.
But I'm just putting it out there. Right. Because people told me to stop not asking and people told me to stop acting up and be like, yeah, we're doing that. So just putting out there anytime, even if it's $1, I appreciate that.
Right. Absolutely.
My broke ass appreciates. Yes. All nominations.
Well, Neltron, you still got an episode we ain't put out yet. So
you still got one in there.
You still got one that we ain't put out yet. I bet you don't remember it, do you?
Well, JR, half the time you don't remember it because you kept on swearing that we did not.
Oh my God, you're not gonna let me live that one down at all.
You was like, and I kept saying, I was like, we didn't. No, but I'm bringing it up because you argued me the fuck down.
I did.
On multiple occasions.
I did.
I was like, no, I was like, we talked about Tony. You was like, no, we didn't talk about it yet. I'm like, I remember it. It was really good.
And I even fucked up Sis head for a second because she was like, well, then damn, maybe we did.
Yeah. Had me believe in his lies.
And she looked right in our damn shit, was like, nigga, I told you we did.
Goofy. Man.
Yeah, I did argue with her. Now that one she got, like, yeah.
I was like you are to where you made me not trust me.
I did.
I fucks with me. You had me not fucking with me.
Yeah, I get it. I had some of what Neltron gave me. He gave me. You know how that go. I had to get you back, Neltron, because that Stevie shit was shady as fuck. I know where you were going with it.
Mike Jones, we could, just we'll send you the link.
That could be the next live.
Come on, Mike. You know we want to talk to you. Come on, of all people, you've been on the damn live.
Right? Yes.
One other person been on the live, and that's Neltron.
Yeah. We would love for you to do that. That would be Mike, dope.
When we hop off of here, I'll send you the link, the schedule.
Yes. That would be dope. Talk about freedom. Ooh, it could be dope for us to even talk about soundtracks for the next live. That can be dope.
Okay.
That'd be dope.
Let's do it.
Yeah, y'all. So y'all get y'all soundtracks, which y'all like.
But yeah, Mike, I'll send you the link when I hop off of here.
Yes.
Give me about 30 minutes and I'll send it to you.
Yes.
But yeah, so we're gonna peace out of here. But we love y'all. This was fun.
This was so fun. Y'all know I enjoyed this. This was great.
Y'all was so smart. The comments was popping.
Y'all was popping. Y'all some smart music people, man. That's why we fuck with y'all. That's why we family, man.
Horde. What y'all horde?
Yes.
So yeah, y'all have a great rest of the week. We talk. Yeah. Have a great rest of the week. We love y'all. Keep banging.
That's right.
And if any of y'all have show ideas, just hit us up on the
Twitter. If y'all got some show ideas, hit us up. Y'all, all of y'all follow us.
Yeah, hit us on Twitter, Instagram, in the DMs, and give us ideas. Because sometimes we be like, I don't know.
Yes, and then y'all can even come on. We want y'all to come on this, so then we can y'all can be on camera with us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fishbone. But yeah, see, I'm gonna be here forever. See.
Yes. Okay. Love y'all, man.
I love y'all to death, and
Yeah.
we'll see y'all again on the live in a couple weeks.
Yes.
But we'll let y'all know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Mwah.
Peace, y'all.